En pocos días se estrena la nueva serie de Halo en Paramount Plus. Para celebrar la llegada de esta nueva y esperada serie tuve la oportunidad de entrevistar a Pablo Schreiber, quien es el protagonista y el intérprete de Master Chief en esta adaptación, y a Kiki Wolfkill, productora ejecutiva de Halo 4 y supervisora principal de la transmedia de Halo en 343 Industries. Damas y caballeros, disfruten la entrevista. Alright, thank you so much for this interview. I hope you are excited as we are. The Halo franchise is well loved and known by fans around the world. First question I would like to ask you, Pablo, is how was your first approach to the Halo franchise? I mean, the game appeared in stores 21 years ago. You had like 23 years in that time.
Yeah.
So I would like to know how was your first approach to the franchise?
My first contact with the franchise was probably seeing the game in the store window, as you said, seeing this big green guy who I had never seen before. Little did I know that down the road that guy would be me, and that I would have the opportunity to step into the Mjolnir armor of the legend, the Chief. I played Halo a few times as a teenager. I didn't have video games growing up, so I had some peripheral contact with it as a younger man, and then my big contact has been as an adult and getting this job, then going through the process of learning what Halo means to so many people, doing a deep dive on the Halo lore and mythology, and really feeling, the excitement of getting this show finally made into a TV show.
This next question is for Kiki. We know that you are a legend in the video game industry. So I would like to know, what does mean Halo to you?
Oh my gosh! So I've been a Halo fan since day one. I played through the campaign of Combat Evolved. I think we got the game a day before release. Finished the campaign overnight, didn't sleep, got some sleep, and immediately dove into Halo: The Fall of Reach, the novel. For me, I love escaping into a world, and I was able to do that immediately with Halo. And I think, those themes of hope and heroism and humanity and this amazing sci-fi world, like those were things that immediately drew me in, and are the things that in every single experience feel sacred to me, and hopefully are things that everybody is able to feel in the show as well.
For a long time, the Halo fans have been asking for a live-action series or a movie, and 21 years later, we have this live-action series. How was this first approach to say, hey, I think it's time to develop a new series, a live-action series about this video game?
Yeah, I mean, it was really right after shipping Halo 4 in 2012 that the seeds of the idea had started, and I think part of it was sort of the journey of telling Chief's story through the first-person narrative structure in Halo 4, right? We really wanted to explore the Chief and Cortana's story, and I think coming out of that, there was such an appetite to tell more about John and the Master Chief, and be able to dig into his character in a way that's really hard for us to do in the game. And so that was the start of it, and then television made sense because we knew we were going to need the time to do that. And it was going to be a journey. It wasn't going to be just a story. So that journey really started in 2013, took a little longer, I think, than any of us expected, but it was totally worth it. Like what I feel we were able to do in building out the Halo world and making it feel like home for people who know Halo, it was a big task, and it was worth waiting for.
What do you think that would be the biggest difference between the Master Chief in the video game and the Master Chief in the series?
I think the biggest difference is the medium that it's created for. Halo is a first-person shooter. It's a video game where you're asked to put yourself in the boots and the helmet of the Chief. So every person who's ever played Halo has played as the Chief and has a sense of ownership over the character. This is a character that's being created for a television show. And I happen to be playing that character in the television show. So this is my Chief and our Chief, but it doesn't take away from your Chief or Steve Downes' Chief, who is the legend who created the voice of the character and did such amazing work through all the games. and will continue to do so. So nothing that we're doing on the TV show takes away from what's been established in the games. It should only add to it.
Yeah. And there's a man in the armor, right? In the game, you play armored because that's the game mechanic. But in the books, we explore John and not just the Master Chief. And so this is really a story that explores both the Master Chief and John in the armor and who the person is within it.
Begin a new project like this, a brand new series, could be stressful, chaotic, and very, very hard to do. So what was the biggest lesson that you learned from doing this?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was all of those things times 1,000 all the time.
Don't shoot during COVID?
Yeah, exactly.
Was maybe a
Don't
big one.
Don't expect springtime in Hungary to be lovely warm weather all the time. No, I think there were so many learnings, and literally, and I mean that, and those learnings are exciting for us because those are things that we take into season 2 to make them even better. And I think we're really committed to that. I think some of the learnings were that things we thought maybe were straightforward from the games, such as building the armor, are actually really, really tricky. And there's so much in the games that you can do because you get to cheat a little bit with geometry, collisions, etc. And yes, the laws of physics are different. When you get into the real world and making those things practical and making them feel real and believable, a lot of things don't work quite the same way.
All right, thank you so much for your time and for this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just a quick reminder, Halo streams in Paramount Plus.
March 24th.
Coming soon.
Check it out.
Y esto fue todo por mi parte, yo soy Chucho Calderón y nos vemos en el siguiente video aquí en la Zona Cero. Los dejo y solamente les recuerdo que pueden seguirme en mis redes sociales como @LZCoficial en Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch y TikTok, y al mismo tiempo pueden unirse al Discord oficial de LZC, donde luego estamos haciendo dinámicas bien sabrosongas, bien chidoliras, como dicen los chavos, sí señor. Muchas gracias a mis amigos de Paramount Plus por permitirme hacer esta entrevista y les recuerdo que la serie de Halo se estrena este 24 de marzo en Paramount Plus. Nos vemos en el siguiente video. ¡Chao!